Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your boy EQ. And up next, we have the silent 12-year war between J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar explained. Shout out to Geek About It for the video. And it's no secret, there has been many subliminal jabs over the last decade and also some direct shots. J. Cole is definitely a critically and commercially successful rapper, one of the most successful. But even with all that being said, he will still fall under the tier Kendrick Lamar is on any metric, honestly, whether it's awards, album sales, or popularity. For the beef, J. Cole was on a featured warpath, wrecking every beat and seemingly making his claim for Best Rapper title. Even I was loving these features, and then the beef happened. And we all know what happened after that. J. Cole's reputation never totally went back to the way it was after he very ceremoniously bowed out the beef. People had their jokes, and until this day, people still point that out when it comes time to rank him. Kendrick Lamar has always probably been the most competitive rapper in his class, if not the game, period. Whether it's friendly phase by calling out his peers to a battle of skill or rap beefs. One of which those beefs, he totally dismantled the other guy. He's always been ready for the smoke. But enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video. We have the silent 12-year war between J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar explained. J. Cole would always say he would body any rapper just to duck out as soon as it got too hot. Kendrick was down to keep it friendly, but obviously Drake took it there. I don't think that would have been the case with Cole, but we'll never know.
Cole came into the rap game with big dreams. He wanted to make a classic debut album and envisioned winning Best New Artist at the Grammys, but things didn't go the way he had hoped. His start in the mainstream was rough.
He definitely had a stutter start in the beginning.
Despite being signed to Jay-Z's Roc Nation, Cole couldn't get a release date for his
Do you guys remember Mr. Nice Watch? His attempt at making a single?
album without delivering a radio single.
We were just in the studio trying to make hits. No lie, I was probably the most depressed he's ever been, like...
Yo, J. Cole, where's the single? That's what the label's saying to me.
For 2 years, he struggled to make
And that's the issue when you're chasing that single sound. And the real secret is honestly to make it hit with your skill set and try to translate that to a hit sound. Look at a record like Swimming Pools, you can't really say that that's some formula being followed.
that one hit. During this time, Jay-Z would ask Drake to give him a hit, an embarrassing moment that showed
Asking
how much
Drake
Cole
for it?
was struggling.
I don't have a single, and the next 6 months of my life was like literally hell. And I have been praying for this record, I promise you.
Eventually, he released Workout, a track that did gain attention, but disappointed many of his core fans and people who believed in him.
So
Well, it's not the music they would expect from him.
get a release date and we dropped the single. It was the worst response on any song I've ever. You gotta understand that, like, to my fan base, it's like, yo, that's the chosen one.
The backlash made him doubt himself deeply. He never wanted to chase numbers.
Damn, I definitely love J. Cole's music. Like I said, that run to me was extraordinary. But anytime someone tries to carry that mantle of chosen one, it doesn't end good. If you falter, people just go on for probably what he loves to call Kanye, a false prophet.
But instead, he found himself compromising, something he'd always sworn against. Then, almost out of nowhere, Kendrick Lamar arrived with his debut. He delivered exactly what Cole was trying to achieve, a debut album that balanced artistry and mainstream success. Good Kid, Mad City wasn't just a success, it was immediately hailed as a classic.
Album is usually ranked #1 of best rap albums of all time. And he jumped out the gate with that.
A lot of people say it's an instant classic. That's great. I love that. But
Hunger.
I want that longevity. I don't want you to be saying it because it's, I'm hot right now. I definitely feel like it's definitely classic.
Humble
worthy.
cat.
I always said that it just gotta have them years behind it.
From the outside looking in, it seemed like Kendrick did it effortlessly, but that wasn't true.
Thing is, people don't see the work that goes behind all this. They just see you when you're successful. They don't see the 10+ years of you trying to hone your craft.
Behind the scenes, Kendrick was facing similar struggles.
Dusty
Top Dog
Studios.
didn't let him drop the album without hits either. Instead of compromising, he worked
music
even harder
business.
until he found a way to hit both targets. But before he figured it out, he too had multiple failed attempts at making the club record.
What's your wackest song?
It's called Bitch, I'm in the Club.
I've heard this record. Now, I love Kendrick Lamar, and you can hear where his sound was going. But yeah, man, when you're chasing that hit sound, and you're chasing that formula, you're just doing yourself a disservice because you're not really telling people you are.
Just like Cole spending 2 years crafting his debut, Kendrick made multiple versions of Good Kid, Mad City before it clicked. It wasn't easy, but he figured it out. He found the balance and he nailed it to the point it seemed
Artistry.
effortless. For J. Cole, watching Kendrick succeed where he had stumbled had to be painful. He wanted to be seen as one of the new greats, but when his debut dropped, it was met with mixed reviews.
Yeah.
His first album wasn't the album he wanted to make.
The first album comes out and it does tremendously well commercially. But the reception critically and on the internet is still sort of mixed.
Part of it was the fact that we knew that album wasn't exactly what we wanted. Born Sinner was dark because of that. You know what I mean? Like, he was going through a dark time where he was feeling like he still had to prove himself.
A mind state that I never had to deal with before, which is like fighting all these negative thoughts. That's the dark place I'm talking about. Like, self-confidence kind of shattered, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the doubt comes into play, especially when you have probably the biggest cosign.
Like, trying to fight against that.
And then comes Kendrick, seemingly unbothered by the system, thriving without compromise. In multiple interviews, Cole said he felt like he was the artist who took the hits so that others could avoid compromise. He believed he paved the way for people like Kendrick.
Now it's easy for niggas. As long as you come with good music, you can beat Kendrick Lamar. You don't got to put out your song with Lady Gaga, whatever it is.
I don't think Kendrick Lamar was going to go and have to do that unless he wanted to. And it's not like Kendrick Lamar doesn't have those pop features.
We're not going to tell you, hey, but you need a single. No, man. Just develop your fan base and put out a great album. I ain't had a luxury, so I could have been crushed.
I'll say this. Yeah, you're not chasing that hit sound, but you still got to create a hit single. And Kendrick Lamar had a few hit singles on that project. So you can't just go and say that album blew up because it didn't have no singles when it obviously did. The album had multiple uberly successful records on the Billboard charts.
The truth is, everyone faced the same obstacles. The difference was execution. It wasn't that Cole opened the door and showed Kendrick how to do it. They were in the same predicament, and Kendrick just happened to execute at a much higher level. In a 2013 interview, he admitted that his team was trying to get him to wear clothes that he hated, and he was trying to adjust to looking like a star. Then there was that funny story about his stylist putting him in a Versace.
Even this, he looks like he's cosplaying as somebody that's obviously not really him. And we see it now. We see how he dresses, see the locks, and honestly, that fits him perfectly. This is the guy that literally gets on a city bike and rides around Manhattan trying coffee at your local spot.
Jersey for a red carpet, only to find other people wearing the exact same outfit, all the way down to the shoes. Kendrick, on the other hand, never bent. He was focused only on the music, and that authenticity paid off. Both of them were equally criticized for not looking like stars and were incentivized to play the game. One chose to try to play the game and the other didn't.
Yeah, he said I look like a star.
I said he don't look like a star.
You had a problem because you had on corduroys.
He just didn't look like a star, but I never said he was whack. He's dumb nice.
You know, everybody got to be their own individual.
I'll say this right now, though. The dude up on that stage on a GNX tour looks like a superstar, and he's looked like a superstar for a very long time. And obviously a lot of that does take effect when you have that big budget behind you, when you have the machine behind you. Now you have stylists and all this money to curate what you really want to do. Starting off, he was all about the craft, all about the artistry.
By 2013, Kendrick was crowned MTV's hottest MC in the game, and while he was honored, others weren't as thrilled.
And you, Kendrick Lamar, are the hottest MC in the game. Man, how you feel, man?
Feel good.
You feel good right now?
Salute.
What young cat is influencing just hip-hop culture and fashion culture at the same time? Look how young I am.
They left you off the list.
This is some bullshit. I don't know, bro. I don't really give a fuck.
That's literally the same energy he had during the beef. Big talk, and when it got really down to it and it got a little too spicy, just backed out. As far as A$AP Rocky, how much did you really truly love the art if you really haven't been active like any of the other? People can't go and say that Kendrick Lamar doesn't put out music or he's inactive, which really hasn't been the case over the last year and a half, and argue anything other than those claims for A$AP Rocky.
But it's, you know, it is what it is. You know
Riri's
what?
husband.
It is. We shouldn't even talk about this anymore.
Ain't a bad role.
A$AP Rocky, Drake, and J. Cole all took issue with it. Cole initially brushed it off with "I don't really care," but his actions told a different story.
He cared.
Drake responded with 5 a.m. in Toronto. Then he and J. Cole dropped the Jodeci freestyle, where both of them took subtle jabs at Kendrick.
See, fam, they've been teaming up for a minute. It wasn't just first-person shooter.
I can't help but think of how this was the original first-person shooter reason Kendrick made Control. Because not many of us realized Control was a response to his peers trying to shit on him for being named the hottest MC of that year. J. Cole was always incredibly competitive. He has always wanted to be the best rapper and make the best albums.
Like I said, during that feature run, he was literally claiming that he could body any other rapper. And that Control verse for me is honestly like, it almost felt like How to Rob by 50 Cent. Because he literally took aim at everybody, whether it was a friend or whether it was a foe. The still shot right here definitely looks like Cole has no teeth.
This competitive spirit is what led him to dropping an album on the same day as Kanye West.
I'm a competitor, so I didn't feel good if they passed back the test and somebody got a 95 and I got a 85, I'm gonna feel away. It's like that with rap too. It's the same. I'm a natural competitor, so.
That
Killer
same
of hip-hop.
spirit now applied to Kendrick too, and from then on he would start taking shots to prove he was the best.
Because I think I was so competitive.
Heavy is
I don't
the
know how they
crown.
would feel. You have to talk to them, but I know for myself, I was so competitive early on that, like, even though we were all friends, I would say we were all friends and friendly. Why would I work out with this nigga? Like, I'm trying to destroy this nigga. You know what I mean? Like, and that was kind of my mentality.
But
Well, it's the same reason why you don't have two highly ranked boxers in the same weight class training in the same gym. Learn all the other dudes' secret moves, and they'll come to haunt you when it's time for fight night. But you see, that was the energy he had pre-beef. Obviously, after he bowed out, people didn't look at him that way. They at least didn't take him seriously.
competing with Kendrick
Even though
wasn't
he's
going to
nice.
be easy. Kendrick had only released one album, but it was already being treated as a classic. Like I said earlier, he had dreamed of winning Best New Artist of the Grammys, but that dream didn't come true.
Because I was telling my management and telling the label, like, yo, I have to beat the Grammy deadline. Like, I gotta do it. My album came out like 2 days before the Grammy deadline, and that's because I knew, like, yo, I got a shot.
And you're up tonight for?
Best New Artist sounds incredible, unbelievable, but Best New Artist. That was a good feeling. I ain't win though, so I need that feeling again. Then I need the victory.
His second album, Born Sinner, performed well and had bigger radio hits like Power Trip and Crooked Smile.
See what they're doing right now? This was botting before botting. This is just them on camera doing it. The labels would literally allocate a part of their budget to buy albums first week. It's just like streaming and these digital numbers that really don't mean anything anymore. Being a solid first week literally gave people FOMO. They would go on to have stronger second weeks. And that's always been done, guys.
Before he put it out, he spoke in an
This guy Drake is talking about botting.
interview about wanting to take the award for Album of the Year at the Grammys, not just Rap Album of the Year. I'm going for Album of the Year. I'm trying to compete with
That's
the white
dope.
people. Unfortunately, he was only nominated for Best Rap Performance, and he lost. When looking back at his second album, he had to sit and be honest with himself. He had once again made compromises to keep the momentum going. But after seeing what Kendrick's integrity had earned
Forest
him,
Hills?
and after the lessons
After
learned
that?
from his past two projects, Cole finally broke the cycle. With Forest Hills Drive, he delivered an album
It's definitely a classic.
with no features, no singles, and no compromises.
His
He
production,
finally
too?
did it in his own way, and it worked.
I got rid of all old pressures that people think is the right way. What's the single? Who's on the album?
Damn, no one wants to talk about it. When you're first starting to grow your locks, man, you go through so many weird phases.
That's old. I had to literally come to grips with this album might not sell. It was a scary thing for me. It didn't sell. I came to terms with that already. It sold? You serious?
And I remember because somebody at Rock Nation was like,
It's a
"What do y'all
legacy
think, y'all
album.
Beyonce or something? Like, it ain't never gonna work, you know?"
The album was celebrated by fans and critics
Been
alike.
riding bikes
It
for
felt like
20
redemption,
years in New York
but just
City.
3 months later, Kendrick returned to Pimp a Butterfly.
Literally every time. This timing is definitely hilarious. Every time J. Cole drops a project he thinks is going to win, Kendrick Lamar just drops another classic, which really isn't saying much considering that I feel like all his albums are classics. But The Pimp a Butterfly to me is probably my favorite Kendrick Lamar album of all time. Really love when an artist can execute a concept album that's a concept that really isn't done too much anymore, where you can weave a story from beginning to end with interludes, just really take the listener on a journey. Like I said, something that's not really done like that anymore.
Cole had finally delivered his magnum opus, but
He looks
Kendrick
like a
delivered
superstar
something
there,
even
man.
bigger. The album wasn't just great, it was considered an all-time classic from the start.
Rolling Stone magazine
Amazing
called our next
production.
guest the greatest rapper of his generation.
You got most Grammy nominations for a rapper in a year. You almost had the same amount of nominations as Michael Jackson for Thriller.
The legend.
With 11 Grammy nominations,
An icon.
Kendrick swept every rap category. J. Cole received just 2 nominations and lost both to Kendrick. It was devastating. After this, he began saying the Grammys didn't matter. He realized
That's what anyone says when they're not winning. Obviously, it's something that he would love to have, but it's almost like the field against Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan went on his championship runs, plural, a lot of all-time greats that just missed out and never got an opportunity to win the chip. Does it make them a worse basketball player? No. But one can't deny that having those chips, having those championships doesn't increase your legacy tenfold.
maybe he wasn't meant
Especially
to
when you
win,
win
but this
6.
realization doesn't come without pain. To desire something your whole life and not be able to get it really hurts.
Had I won it early on, I think it would have validated all of those feelings I had for it, of like, oh man, and maybe it would have felt like a championship at that point, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The fact that it didn't happen, and then it didn't happen, and then it didn't happen. First, there was the same feeling of like, wait, why they not rocking with me? Boom, boom, boom.
No, it's not that they're not rocking with you. It's just that there's another contender, which obviously people favor more.
And then after time, and like it becomes clear that it's like, oh, wait a minute, like those things weren't for you.
From tweets and interviews, he would say he is happy he didn't win any Grammys, but his continued references to it suggest otherwise.
Yeah, it's coping.
So Cole spoke with GQ extensively about not winning a Grammy. He said, I'm not supposed to have a Grammy, at least not right now, and maybe never. And if that happens, that's just how it was supposed to be.
By the
Karl Malone of rap.
time J. Cole truly embraced his own authenticity, Kendrick was miles ahead. When he later released For Your Eyes Only, people criticized it for taking from To Pimp a Butterfly's blueprint. Meanwhile, Kendrick elevates it again with Damn, adding another possible classic.
First album sales, 600,000 plus. And honestly, I feel like this album could have definitely shut down a lot of narratives that he can't create a commercial bop, he can't make radio records, when he had already had so many high charting songs on the Billboard charts. So to me, that point was always erroneous. But he definitely proved a lot of people wrong, as if he hadn't already done that by the production he used on this, man. When you hear Humble, when you hear DNA and Love and those type of records and say that you can't make a radio hit, at that point you lose all validity in your opinion.
To his name, one that also became his most commercially successful. Now Kendrick both had critical acclaim and chart dominance.
Yeah, guys, not GNX, not the album that you're claiming is the only reason getting attention.
Cole couldn't compete on either front. While he was playing catch up to Kendrick, Kendrick was focused on beating Drake. But then Kendrick Lamar went quiet. And in 2019, J. Cole picked up his pen again. He's
like, oh, this is my window, this is my shot. Like I said, we all saw what happened after that beef.
began killing features, sharpening his
During the
skills,
beef.
and reminding
He didn't
everyone
even
what
get
he
that
could
far.
do. For years, he delivered high-quality verses. He was
Definitely.
back, hungrier than ever. And just when it seemed like he was catching up, Kendrick teased his return, saying he was coming to smoke on everybody's top 5, which raised all our expectations. J. Cole was rapping at his best, and Kendrick was coming back. But when Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers dropped, it wasn't the explosive return people anticipated. It was personal, introspective, and polarizing.
Again, he did it his own way. But how can we call that album not successful when it led to, at the time, the highest grossing rap tour ever? So if the music didn't connect, why would all those bots be? Oh, I forgot, they're bots.
For the first time, there were a lot of people that called the Kendrick album a disappointment. He looked vulnerable while J. Cole was finally hitting his stride. People began to reshuffle their big 3 rankings. I saw a lot of people putting J. Cole above Kendrick and Drake.
Kendrick talking shit to everybody in the world but a nigga named Jermaine. My rapper order
That take obviously did not age very well.
has to change.
J. Cole is #1 in that rapper order.
It has to
Get
change.
outta
It has
here.
to.
He also started throwing subliminals again, just like he did at the start of his career. His drive to be the best was fueled
Yeah,
by
he could
feeling
body
like
everybody,
he was being
right?
overlooked his whole career. Yes, he
Which you do need that to be at that level. Now, you do even have to have a little bit of irrational confidence. Greatness comes with that. You have to think you could do the unthinkable, the unachievable.
built his own path, but he still wanted the respect from the game as the best. He kept
Yeah.
mentioning people putting him number 3 behind Drake and Kendrick because it really bothered him. The 2 Grammys he's won were features for other people's songs. His only #1 on Billboard was a feature with Drake. He wants to achieve those things himself, with his own singles and his own albums.
I'm cool. I almost feel better not having my first #1 be off of Drake alley-oop. You know what I mean? Like, I love Drake, and I love that I'm a part of that moment with him, with Michael Jackson, but it's like, bro, it's like getting a Grammy with 21. It's like, bro, I love that for you. Shit, I almost don't, nah, I want y'all to keep me right where
Yeah, it's because he's been waiting to get it for himself for the longest time.
y'all had me. You know what I mean? Grammy-less, nigga. Don't throw me no sympathy Grammys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want none of that.
For a while, it looked like he was taking the spot from Kendrick, until he hopped on First Person Shooter with Drake.
And it wasn't after that. It's the fact that he engaged in the beef and very ceremoniously pulled out a few days later. That's what makes people look at him different. He was on a feature run. The dude is still literally one of the most talented rappers out there. But to say his reputation didn't take a hit, you're crazy to think that. I still love Cole, and in due time, people will kind of put this, yeah, they're still going to have their jokes and they'll still bring this up. And honestly, to me, this beef was probably his biggest chance at solidifying any shot at the title. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. It's like in sports. I think he thought it was going to turn into something it wasn't. maybe something more violent, a la Tupac Biggie. And I don't think that ever was going to happen. Unless J. Cole said something personal, I think Kendrick Lamar would have kept it friendly and just kept it a battle of skill. Obviously, Drake didn't heed the warning. That's something that really crossed the line for a lot of people. And we all saw what happened after that. It was a total dismantling of Universal's biggest golden goose. Definitely let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about this silent 12-year war between J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar? I feel like it was mostly a Cold War until obviously the end when people actually engaged. J. Cole is still nice, just had the bad luck of being in the league at the same time as Kendrick Lamar. And sometimes those are the cards you are dealt. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think J. Cole was always behind Kendrick Lamar's shadow? And do you guys think he actually ever had an opportunity to get out from under that and really solidify his claim for being the #1 rapper? Again, that feature run was extraordinary. That be a record for me. That verse was elite. The way he bowed out definitely left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and they still kind of clown him to this day. I do feel like time will favor kindly to him, but definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. I really want to thank you guys so much for continuing to make this channel a part of your day. It honestly means the world to me, and all the love and support that you guys continue to show this channel on a daily, honestly overwhelming, and probably the biggest reason why I make these videos. So I really want to let you guys know how grateful I am for all of it. Hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. J. Cole is the mailman of rap at this point.